program. Who's the birthday boy?
And
And what's your name?
Nicholas.
And Nicholas is 10. Grade 8. Great questions. Lots of knowledge. Everybody knows what knowledge is, right? It's everything we have up here. But we're really powerful because we have lots of knowledge. We have some animals that are smart, but we're the smartest animal in the world. Now, while we're being so smart, we're going to just talk to people. Really important. Really, really important. Cooperation. Okay, if somebody's talking, we're going to allow them to ask their questions and listen, okay? Cooperation, safety, most important. We have things that could hurt us, so we have to be really careful. What do you think, Mom? Yeah?
Yeah, Mom.
Okay. Now, some of these animals you can touch, some of them you cannot touch. So what we're going to do is, while we're touching animals, it's just like if you're outside playing in the with worms. Mom calls you in the house, you wash your hands. At the end of the program, I'm going to peel out your hands. How's that? Pretty good? But while we're touching animals, we're not going to put our hands near our faces, right? We're not going to pick our toes or our nose.
Well,
Sound good?
that's no fun.
Well, we have a guy here who picks his nose different than us. And you'll see why. It's really not good for us to be picking our noses and our toes, okay? Sound good? Now, Nicholas, do you have an idea what you like to see first? I have little things, I have big things, I have hard things, I have soft things. Little ones? Let's see. Let's set up here. You know what this is?
Blanket.
No, this is the splash zone. Sometimes animals go pee. So we're going to try to keep the animals on the blanket area, okay? Because if I put something over your lap and it pees, that's where it lands, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Get some dude.
I
You three, stand up for a second.
Why?
We'll be back a little bit.
Okay. Oh!
All right, there you go.
Nicky!
Dan,
Yeah, Mom.
watch out for the soda.
Soldier.
Okay. Now this is small. It's also different. You see what that is?
Oh my god!
Why do you think that frog is so different though?
He's red.
He's red.
He's starting
He's
with
red. He is so cool. You ever hear the poisonous tree frogs?
Yes.
Poisonous dart frogs? He's a tree frog. Want to touch him? Aren't you afraid he's poisonous?
a red oak tree. Is that a red oak tree?
He trusts you.
I trust you.
Outstanding. You want to know what's so cool about this guy? Oh! Where's he going? The cool thing about this guy, he is a tree frog. The type of tree frog he is he's a tomato frog. You ever
I have a
notice?
tomato frog in my frog book.
Do you? Really cool frogs. When you pick up a frog, when you see a frog, you pick it up, you know when he blows up big? You know when he does that? He does that so predators don't eat him. Okay? This guy here, when he blows up, he looks like a tomato. That's why they call him a tomato frog. You know what's even funnier though? I think he looks like a ravioli. I wanted to call him a ravioli frog, but they don't want to do that. Now he is a tomato frog. So what do you think we named him when we adopted him? Ragu. Sometimes Mom doesn't have time to make the gravy at home, so she buys it in a jar. This is Ragu, the tomato frog. I would like to bring her around if you want to. Touch him on the back. I want you to tell me what it feels like, okay? It's really important to know what it feels like. Excuse me, if you want to touch him. Sound like a good idea? You excited? Okay, we're going to start over here. Nice and slow, guys. How's that feel? Slimy? Slimy?
Well, you could wash your hands after you touch it.
Ew? Is that how it feels, or is that a description of how you feel? Slimy, all right.
No, after you touch everything.
How's that feel? Slimy and wet. Oh, he's trying to jump. Read it. That was me, that wasn't him. Go ahead.
Mom, touch
Whoa. It seems he really wants to go
Mom,
to
touch
me.
it. Touch it, Mom.
Now.
Touch it.
Go for it.
Lexi didn't touch it yet.
How does...
Touch it, Mom. Sophia, touch it.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, you're gonna
Now, if
get
you notice, see how this guy keeps climbing up?
Yeah.
He is a tree frog. Sometimes he will get higher. And what he does, when I'm talking, sometimes he'll jump. Now, he's not going to jump backwards. He's going to jump where he's looking. So I try not to hold him this way, because 3 weeks ago, I held him this way. He jumped in my head. And he peed. So we have to be careful. I don't want him to pee on anybody. But it's not a big deal. If a frog pees on you, you really don't get warts. But you know what I wanted to try? I wanted to see it. Whoa! Oh, there he goes. I wanted to see if a girl would kiss him. Do you think he'll turn into a prince?
No.
Oh, what's going on? Guess what? He peed on me. Okay. Now this frog is really cool though. Because remember when I said, you ever hear the poisonous tree frogs? This guy is a tree frog, but he's not poisonous. You know what he does? When you see somebody wearing something you like, the sneakers, the cool shirts, right? Tomorrow you're going to want to wear a shirt like this because I'm the coolest guy around, right? And you're going to want to do a copy that, right? What is it called? A copy what? A copycat. There you go. This isn't a copycat, it's a copy frog. What he does, he actually hangs out with this bright color. He actually acts like a poisonous tree frog with these bright colors. You know how they put the cones in the streets when they're doing construction? They're bright orange, they stand out. Caution, those colors in the wild, bright colors mean I'm poisonous, don't eat me. He's really not poisonous, he's a copy frog. What do you think about that, huh? Is that smart or what? Is that smart or what, huh? And he's got such a small brain. Now if he's that smart, and our brain is about 10, 15, 20 dozen different times bigger than him, we must be really smart, right? So we have to take care of creatures like this. We don't want to lose them. So what we do is, he is slimy for a reason. He has this mucus coating that's his protection. It keeps bacteria from penetrating his skin. It keeps his skin from drying out. If his skin dries out, he can't breathe well, because he breathes through his skin a little bit. He actually drinks water through his skin. You know how he drinks? He sits in his water, and he absorbs the water by glands down by his butt. Who was that over here said it before? Ew, right? But that's how he drinks. He doesn't eat like us. Anything he gets in his mouth, he swallows. He can't swallow like us. He doesn't have this neck. So what he does is his eyeballs push into his mouth, and whatever food's in his mouth pushes into his belly. That's not how you swallow, right? This guy is pretty unique and very important in our world. This guy doesn't come from around here. He comes from Madagascar. He wasn't in the movie, but he does come from Madagascar. Now, frogs everywhere in the world, they're big indicators on how healthy our waterways are. These are one of the first animals that are affected by polluted water. So we don't litter, do we? We never litter. You know what I challenge you guys to be? Here's something really cool. An unlitterer. What do you think that is, an unlitterer? I challenge you to be an unlitterer. That means every day you try to pick up one piece of garbage in your yard or at your school. We'll help keep the world clean, right? These guys will live. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Continue to pee on me and everything. What do you think? He is really cool. He has a voracious appetite. Does anybody know what voracious means? Huge, incredible. He'll eat everything. If you roll a pebble in front of a frog, often they'll eat it. Boom! So they're not real smart in that regard. They don't know that pizza tastes real good. They'll go for anything. When this guy goes back to the shop, he gets a bath. He gets washed down because the oils in our skin that we just touched aren't good for him. They'll break down his slimy coating. So while he was waiting to get a bath a few weeks ago, a hummingbird flew in the shop. He ate the hummingbird. Believe it or not, frogs eat all kinds of stuff. Somebody put the wrong frog in his tank, he ate the other frog. So having a pet is a big responsibility, whether he's a ragu or a green frog, a common green frog. God bless you. So it's really important to realize if you get a pet frog, and this guy you can get as a pet, he's in your book and everything, big responsibility. You gotta take good care of him, right? Don't want to put the wrong things in his tank, right? Don't want him to jump on your head. Remember that. Because what did he do? He peed on my head. Okay? He is ragu, and he's very cool. What do you think? He'll probably get twice his size. Could you imagine that growing up into a tomato? What do you think? Interesting?
Wow.
What's that?
I said
Wow
wow.
is right. He is really cool. Say goodbye. Oh, you're getting ready to go to somewhere. Say goodbye, ragu. All right. Whoa! He's going around. He's going around. Here he goes. He's going around. Say goodbye, ragu.
I don't want to get
And Nicholas, would you mind if I pick the next animal? All right. Let's see what we have in here. Hopefully nothing got lost.
Oh gosh, I just.
So now what did we touch? We just touched slimy, right? There's so many different textures in our world, right? Okay. So if you go out and you touch that tree, the bark on that tree is rough, right? So we touched that slimy frog. How about this guy?
Hey,
That guy
Beth.
is?
Yeah.
You think that's a snake? Now, I haven't showed you a snake yet, have I? When I show you a snake, you know what I talk about? A snake doesn't have eyelids. This guy has eyelids. This guy, no. This guy isn't even a snake. If you look, he's got external ear holes back here. Okay? Snakes don't. This guy, if you can guess what he is, I'll let you hold him. What do you think? He's really cool. He's missing something though. legs. He's a legless lizard. Can you imagine that? Now, he is really cool, but guess what? The mom just said, does he bite? This guy's bite is so powerful. His favorite food, pizza, his favorite food are snails. In the shells, you know what he does? He actually bites the shells and crushes them. He has such a powerful bite. He has blunt teeth like ours, and he crushes the shells and then digs out the snail and eats them. Now everything eats something, right? This is his favorite food, snails. But this guy won't even eat eggs. If you notice his pattern, what are my pants called? Anybody know what pants called? Camouflage, right? What do they blend into? The woods, right? The forest? This is camouflage. It blends into the ground and the trees. Even the red blotches, all the colors. He's so cool, so interesting, but he's spooky in the same way. What do you think? Would you like to touch him?
No. Yeah.
Anybody? Mom?
Kiss him, Lexi.
Mom, yes, it actually is.
Hey, Lexi, why don't you kiss him? We'll take a picture. We'll send it to Aunt Jenny. Oh, you're no fun.
Pretty cool? Now again, this guy I'm always careful with because he does have a powerful bite. And he's not going to bite me now eating it because he knows I'm too big. But he might get scared. If I put him down and step in his tail, he's definitely going to turn around and bite me. But he's pretty cool as a pet. He's unique and he's different. But you have to watch this guy because he does have a very powerful bite. What do you think, sir? Support him? Hold him up? What do you think? I'm not going to let his head get near you.
I'm not joking.
Thomas.
This guy is so spooky. This is the giant guy you see in movies sometimes trying to scare people. See that big weird head? He's got the fleshy tongue. He doesn't have a forked tongue because he's not a snake, right? He's kind of spooky looking. What do you think?
Yeah. Sophia wants to touch
2
it.
hands? You sure? Mom, you want to hold him?
Mom, Sophia. Mom, let Sophia.
Look at that. There you go. Look at him swimming around. Now, what would you name a guy with no legs like this? What would you name a guy with no legs like this? You know what we named him? Slinky. In the shop, he got loose, he went down the steps, and he was just like a Slinky. A legless lizard. His name is Slinky. What do you think? Pretty cool? Alright. We're going to put Slinky away. You want to kiss him goodbye? Oh, good answer. Alright. Say goodbye, Slinky.
Lexi's good.
Bring an alligator.
An alligator? Was I supposed to bring an alligator? Let me check and see what I got in my box. An alligator. What's an alligator look like? Do you know?
I didn't want to touch you on it.
Wow.
Big green guy.
It's a big green guy?
3 foot.
Sharp teeth.
I don't want it.
He's got a long tail, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I got him right here. Got a long tail.
Big fat
He camouflages in the environment, right?
That's an alligator? No.
It's not an alligator? Does anybody know what he is? He's a gecko.
Oh.
He's a gecko. He's not as big as an alligator, but you guess what?
You get 50.
He's cooler, you know why? This guy here has a cousin that does commercials.
What?
His cousin is the Geico Gecko.
I didn't realize.
What's that? The red on his cheeks? Guess what? That's not his cheeks. Those there are his ear holes. What's your name? What's your name?
John.
Johnny, listen to this. He asked such a great question. I'm going to show you something. You see that little pink? Those are his ear holes. This guy here is known as the original airhead. You know what that means? It's kind of like not a nice thing to say. This guy has so much air in his brain, in his head. His brain is so small, he's called an airhead. You can actually see light pass through his eardrums. That's the color you're seeing. You're seeing blood pumping through the eardrum tissue, and it's coming up pink. That was a great question, Johnny.
That's because he's a smart kid. Right, Johnny?
What do you think? Now, Nicholas was right. This is a gecko. This is a leopard gecko. The Geico gecko is a day gecko. This is a leopard gecko. And he's really cool. He has camouflage too. His camouflage actually works for the desert region where he comes from. He comes from a harsh desert region. Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq. He is incredibly good at that camouflage. He sits still and he looks like the desert with the dappled pieces of debris floating around and everything. And then all of a sudden something small moves and he jumps on it. He eats lots of bugs. Want to touch him?
Yeah.
I would like you to do this. If you can, touch his whole back and touch his tail. I'd like you to tell me what he feels like. Can we do that?
Yeah. I think he feels bumpy.
Well, why don't you find out?
The tail? Okay. How's it feel?
Bumpy and squishy.
Bumpy and squishy.
Yes, bumpy and squishy.
Bumpy and squishy, right, Mom?
Mom, touch it.
Now, he's got this texture for a reason. He comes from a harsh environment, a desert region. It's really hot during the day, it's really cold at night. So he has those extremes. He's got this thick, durable, bumpy skin. But his tail feels different because he stores food in his tail. He stores food. We have food right here, extra food. It lasts a few hours. This here can last months if he doesn't find bugs to eat. He is so incredible in that regard. But he's got a situation that he has to deal with. The tail's valuable. The tail's so valuable. So if you look at him and I hold him from a distance, you see the base of his tail is skinny, and then it gets thicker. Same with his head and neck, right? From a distance, when a predator tries to swoop in and get this guy, fly in or run in fast, this guy can do something really cool that you and I can't do. This guy here can squeeze the muscles in the base of his tail so hard, he breaks the tail off.
Ellen, don't let her
Doesn't even bleed, it stops the capillaries. Now, what happens is, the gecko's standing still. The tail pops off and it bounces around over here. Keeps moving. The predator goes for the moving tail, he gets to run away and live another day. Pretty cool. And he grows another tail. That's why we call him Mr. Mellow Yellow. Good name? You like that? Any questions about Mr. Mellow Yellow? Because remember when I was talking about the nose picking and stuff and the toes picking? This guy here, real cool pet. Easy to take care of, not expensive, great. Okay. But this guy here picks his nose with his tongue. He eats it. And if you see two geckos together sometimes, he'll actually stick his tongue in the other gecko's nose and eat the boogers. When this guy sheds, he doesn't shed like a snake, a whole big long strip, one piece. He sheds in patches. He eats the patches of skin too. But guess what? He's a great survivor. He's pretty incredible. And his name is Mr. Mellow Yellow. What do you think?
He looks cool.
He does. And he's an awesome pet.
Where does he keep his wallet?
Next to his smartphone.
Next to his smartphone.
You see how his eyes are closed and he's so calm and everything? These guys don't like to be picked up like this. They want to be stable. So this guy's very comfortable right now. You guys are quiet and cooperative, everything's working well. He's hanging out. He's like, you know, what's up, buddy? He's just so cool and calm. He likes it here. And he matches your shirt so well.
Lexi, what's your
Doesn't he?
question? I think he matches my shirt too.
He does. He does. Matter of fact, come up here a second. Let's see. How well he'll camouflage into your shirt. Let's see. Can you turn
Where
towards
did they
everybody?
come from?
Let's see if he can pull up your yellow shirt. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Now don't let him eat your boogers, okay? Because he likes boogers. Now he is Mr. Mellow Yellow. He's a leopard gecko. And he's a cool pet. What do you think? And he's not a big climber. They don't climb.
I think you ought to get there any one of them.
They're easy to take care of, long-lived, easy to take care of. I know someone who has a gecko that's 29 years old. You're not a leopard gecko, but
I
he's
got
29
kids
years
at
old.
20.
What do you think, sir? Pretty cool? Once again, remember he has food
That's
storage
stupid.
in his tail. If he loses his tail, it's a bad thing. Because then, this is an indicator when it's squishy like the caterpillar, it's an indicator he's healthy. If this guy lives with several other geckos like he does back at home in the shop, we have to separate him if he loses his tail because we have to make sure he's eating. We have to actually watch him eat because he doesn't have all that food storage. It's like a mini refrigerator. What do you think? Pretty cool? All right. We're going to say goodbye, Mr. Mellow Yellow.
John,
That
you
was
want one of
pretty
them as a
awesome.
pet,
I
Johnny?
crawled on my shirt.
Yeah. Come on up here,
You want one of them
Nicholas.
as a pet?
Now, he's not going to blend into Nicholas' shirt. How come?
Oh look, there's
Why isn't he going to blend into Nicholas' shirt?
because his shirt's blue.
Oh, this guy's great. Quick answers. I like this, guys. Now, he is looking for boogers. So what are we going to do? We're going to take him off of you before he gets you. Say goodbye to Mr. Mellow Yellow.